Hi everyone, welcome back to the Bumpkin News. You know, one of the purposes of these videos is to give you another perspective on various topics. I like to give you my what I believe is original viewpoint on things, not things that I've heard talking heads say or talk show hosts say about things, but things that I've derived from life experience. And today we want to look at the Second Amendment and what we believe that it really means. I'll read the Second Amendment for you in case you haven't or you're not that familiar with it. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, the primary consideration here are those two words, the people. If you notice at the beginning of the Constitution, the preamble, it says, we the people. It doesn't say the government, but it says we the people. And here it says the right of the people. It doesn't say the right of the National Guard, the right of the military, but the right of the people, which means the citizens. We make up the nation. We make up the government. The government devolves from us, not the other way around. This is a very, very important point without which the entire Constitution dissolves. Now, this is the Second Amendment is not pertaining necessarily, although indirectly it is, you might say, bundled up in this, and that is target practice and hunting. Opponents to the Second Amendment, and I'm sad to say that many people in government, they think that it's okay to have a shotgun as long as you're hunting, or a rifle as long as you're target practicing, but that's the extent of it. The Second Amendment, the primary function of this is in case of an emergency or some sort of a defense being necessary, that a militia could be constituted. And I believe that the militia here would be constituted on a state level, and that is that the governor of the state, if he felt it was necessary to do so, would seek out men of standing in the communities, probably at the county level, like possibly your sheriffs, and they would seek out men that were of sound mind and men that were responsible to get their arms and to form up into units that the governor could use in defense of the state. Now, you know, back in our nation's history, these things have happened. I think Abraham Lincoln was a captain of a militia in Illinois during what's called the Black Hawk Wars. They got the citizens, assembled them together. It's not some ragtag group that calls themselves a militia, that everybody wants to be a general or wants to be an officer, but these are militias are well regulated. They're authorized by government officials, and as we said, on the state level, the governor and people under him that are men of known in the community, known to be reasonable men, known to be men that are not some sort of rabble rousers, but that it would be well regulated. Now, you ask the question, where do these militias come from? They come from the people. They don't come from necessarily military units or police organizations or things like that, but a militia is derived from the people. That's the base. That's where it comes from. Without the people being armed, you cannot have a militia. And so it's necessary that the people be armed in the eventuality that a militia is needed. And it says that that right shall not be infringed. If this government of the United States, the federal government, could take away the arms of the citizens, then we could not form a militia. And the gun opponents would tell you, or the Second Amendment opponents would tell you, that's what we have the National Guard for. No, no, sir. The militia is formed of the people. And you notice here that he says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. He doesn't say, they don't say firearms here, but they say arms. Those are things that you can defend yourself with. And I think that there are some things that we have seen reasonableness, and that is that people just can't possess hand grenades. People can't possess certain kinds of ordnance. People can't possess a machine gun without a special licensing mechanism in effect. And I think the Supreme Court has ruled on this, and I don't think that there's any objection in this that such as sawing off the barrel of a shotgun to a certain length is illegal. And these are things that have been accepted as reasonable in our society. But we do have the right to keep and bear arms, whatever they may be that would be needed to form a militia, to be an effective militia, and what it would be that we could defend ourselves. Let's say, for example, that somebody came at me with a baseball bat. Well, I might not necessarily use a gun, but maybe I would use a bigger baseball bat. Or maybe someone came at me with a car, and I could possibly puncture the tire with something, or throw a rock, or anything to defend myself with. And if we had people coming at us with a certain kind of weaponry, then we would have to respond with something, if possible, superior to be able to defend ourselves. So that's a quick look at the second militia. I hope that gave you some enlightenment about it and what we believe it really means. So an indirect advantage of this is, as we said, that you have the right to keep those arms, and while you're keeping those arms, you have the right to defend yourself with arms. Thanks for listening. We would like to hear your thoughts if you have any. Take care. See you next time.